Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Debt Collection 101 here on Arbeit.
Yes, we have a great episode. I love these episodes. We have a guest joining us today. We got John Bedard, who we just saw at Collector Live. If you went, great event. He's a corporate defense attorney from Atlanta.
Thank you so much for joining us.
I'm sorry, compliance. I said corporate, but I meant compliance.
Compliance,
so,
yes.
Yeah. Sorry, that's
I'm delighted to be here. Thank you for having me.
No, thanks
problem.
for doing this. We really appreciate it. So I guess let's kick things off with the tell us about yourself.
Yeah.
It's my favorite question.
Well, my name's John Bedard. I've been here in Atlanta for 20 years now. I started my career representing mortgage lenders and mortgage brokers, and that was a very nice segue and a complement to representing the collection industry. And so my practice representing the collection industry began in the late 90s. And I've been representing debt collectors, debt buyers, creditors, and lawyers ever since. We help them do compliance work, helping them stay in compliance with the myriad of laws that they have to comply with around the country. And we do the defense litigation when they get sued, regulatory defense and civil defense litigation. And so I'm originally from the Northeast, New York and Pennsylvania. I know that
he was smart enough to get out, get to the warm weather.
But now that I've been in Atlanta for 20 years, our saying now is, ain't never going back to the old country.
Yeah, I can't wait to get out. Yeah.
We're spoiled here. It still gets cold, still get the seasons, but it's just not the extremes.
It's a great place. It's a great part of the world, or the U.S. to be in. So.
Yep.
Smart choice.
Cool.
That speaks to your intelligence already.
Yeah, exactly. So how did you end up getting in, so from mortgages to debt collection, why did you do that?
Yeah, so well, it was really kind of an accident. I just sort of fell into it. I knew that the firm that I was at represented primarily the mortgage industry, and I was really, in the shadows and under the wings of the partners at that firm, and they encouraged me to find a practice that was a nice complement to the mortgage practice, but was still inside the firm's core competency, which was compliance and litigation. And so, one client by accident became two, and two became four, and, fast forward, 10 years and you're a partner at the firm, and, fast forward another 10 years and, you've got this whole practice that you've been doing for a while now.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's, great way to grow. That's awesome.
I promise you, I didn't go to law school telling myself I wanted to represent debt collectors for a living. It just sort of happened.
Yeah, see, I went to college saying I want to sell to debt collectors, so I get it.
That's the common thing.
But I wouldn't have it any other way. And so it's a great industry. Mm-hmm. They're great people, and so I'm happy about the trajectory that my career has taken me in.
Cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. Cool. Yeah. So I guess right off the bat, first question, can you provide any predictions on any legislation that might come out in 2019 that will help agencies navigate compliance a little easier? For example, an official ATDS definition.
Well, I think we are going to see some rules and some legislation this year, perhaps. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's going to make compliance any easier, though. The best thing we can hope for is clarity in the law, no matter what the rule is. And so, we have been waiting patiently for the highly anticipated rules from the CFPB. And so, we're expecting that again. I know we've been told that many times, but potentially in second quarter here, we might be getting some rules or some guidance. Hopefully we'll get some guidance on the definition of automatic telephone dialing system. It's really, really unfortunate that we cannot get lawmakers or courts to agree on what the words mean in the statute. And really, we are all victims of unclear law.
Yeah.
And so it's really burdensome for folks that are navigating these waters. And so hopefully we will see something there. The other thing that I think might be on the 2019 radar is more and more rules or laws about privacy. privacy seems to be at the forefront of a lot of people's minds. And we're beginning to see states all over the country adopt privacy rules, data security rules. And so if I had a prediction, privacy would be one of them for 2019.
Very good prediction, I would imagine.
Yeah. So
Until that day.
what do you, well, not that, but what do you tell your clients basically? How do they handle these loose definitions? How do they handle not knowing what they're doing, not, being in this murky water, not
How do
knowing
you navigate
exactly
that?
what can they do to like stay compliant when you don't know what compliance is?
Yeah. Well, a lot of people in this industry now have counsel. They have good legal counsel to help them navigate these waters. Aside from that, however, I tell clients all the time that there are really only two categories of consumers that find attorneys and file lawsuits against people. The first category is angry consumers, right? And angry consumers is a category of consumer that we can really control. We have to make sure we are giving consumers great customer service and we're not making them angry so that they have no reason to go to a lawyer to achieve what they could otherwise achieve on the telephone with a law-abiding, respectful debt collector. By and large, what we see all over the country now, law-abiding, respectful debt collectors that really want to do the right thing. The second category of consumer is the bankrupt consumer, because those are the consumers that go to bankruptcy lawyers for help, and those bankruptcy lawyers very often try to help their clients avoid bankruptcy, and often that includes suing somebody. And so, collectors have a little bit less control over the bankrupt consumer, but they can still do what they do best, which is to continue to work with consumers that are in financial trouble to help them avoid bankruptcy just as much as their own bankruptcy lawyers do.
Gold. That's a golden tip right there.
Just so the biggest way is basically just
be nice. Yeah. That's a very simplistic version of it, but yeah.
Yeah. But it's true. Even if there's some silly technical violation that somebody makes and they're not mad at you, the consumer's not gonna just go out of their way then to do anything. If you're nice to them and they enjoyed having a conversation and you were helpful to them. So it makes sense. But, So, do you have any, you made I guess for this coming year, your prediction is the privacy laws?
That's everywhere.
Yeah.
That's Nostradamus over here predicting that.
Yep.
It's a great call.
So there's that, but
you have an app, right? Yeah. You have an app?
Actually, yes. It's called ARMlaw. And available on all kinds of different platforms, iOS platform, Android, Amazon Kindle, all those kind of platforms.
Yeah.
And really, what it is it is a resource for the law. So you have the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, Fair Credit Reporting Act, Telephone Consumer Protection Act. So you can get the actual statutes right there in the app. But you can also get case law related to those statutes. And so if you're trying to find a letter case, if you're trying to find cases about the identification of a debtor under the TCPA, you can categorize case law and really look for cases in law as a resource. And the best part about it is it's free.
Get out.
Yes. Yep.
That's a great resource for every collection agency to have.
Yeah.
Not only that, I've gotten calls from consumers that love it. I even got calls from the CFPB saying, hey, we really like this app. Would you mind adding something else to it, please? And
really?
So they wanted the Gramm-Leach-Bliley Act. And so, okay, great. We added the Gramm-Leach-Bliley Act. And so we have just under 10,000 downloads on it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm serious. Now, we've had this for several years now, so that's an accumulation of downloads.
Yeah, still, 10,000 is impressive.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
It's incredible, yeah. And so it's got some very easy ways to link, to navigate to different things. You can communicate with me directly through it. So it's pretty neat. ARM
Guess
law,
what I'm
ARM.
doing?
Yeah.
Blowing up your
Check
phone
it
at
out.
2 a.m. That's awesome. Good for you.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So, I want to go back to what we were talking about a little earlier, keeping angry consumers, bankrupt consumers,
Yeah.
and you also are involved with speech analytics, right?
I'm sorry, I missed that.
Said you're also involved with speech analytics, right?
Oh, yes. So one of the things that our office does is offers an outsourced speech analytics tool to clients. We've got a lot of clients who are either unable or unwilling to invest what it takes to develop their own in-house speech analytics program, right? It's a big capital investment. It's a lot of labor. In fact, it costs more to operate than it does to buy in many circumstances. And so what we do is, I invested in that speech analytics tool, and instead what we do is we serve as an outsourced speech analytics tool for clients. So clients drop their recordings on us. We do all the analytics on those recordings, and then we deliver a result back to them, which takes all of the capital investment out of the equation, which takes all their labor and their learning curve and all of that out of the equation for them.
Love that.
It's turnkey for clients,
Yeah.
and they love it, And so, yes, that's another added bonus of a service that our office provides to clients. And it's a legal service because we're giving them legal advice on the content of their recordings as well. And so that helps, that just helps to our firm provide a more rounded service to meet the needs of the collection industry.
Yeah. Are you able to spot, like, with the speech analytics, would an agency be able to see if they have a lot of angry consumers that their collectors are talking to? Is that something that's going to spot?
Absolutely, yes. And so we call that the red flags call. And so we have a whole dialogue dedicated to what we call red flags. And so angry consumers, bankrupt consumers represented by counsel, we're looking for all of those things. And we provide results to the client. Now, one of the things that's really neat about it, I'm a big advocate of the mantra, don't tell me you're compliant, show me you're compliant.
Yeah.
And one of the things that we've given our clients the opportunity to do through speech analytics is actually download all their speech data for themselves. So not only can they say that they're confident that their agents recite the mini Miranda to consumers, they actually have the data to prove it, right?
Yeah.
And so that's huge. That's huge. And our clients are really taking advantage of that.
That's awesome. You got so many great services.
Yeah.
Yeah, now you know why you have 10,000 downloads right on the app. It's just you got a wealth of knowledge up there.
All right. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah, thanks so much for joining us, John.
We'll link the information so people can hunt you down. How can people find you?
They can find me at www.bedardlawgroup.com. It's got my phone number there. It's got email right there. It's got a description of our services. You guys are great. I love this video that you do all the time.
Thank you.
Include me on your mailing list and be well.
Yeah, thanks.
No problem.
Thanks. It's the guests that make this work.
Yeah. Thanks so much.
Other guests. No, I'm kidding. Thanks so much for doing this. I appreciate it.
All right. See you next time.
See you next time.
Ya.